Welcome to today's riveting courtroom breakdown. In this episode, we're diving into the case of Peter Heenan, a man facing serious legal challenges after battling addiction and a tumultuous road to sobriety. You won't want to miss what happens next. Was his behavior just a product of his struggles, or did he truly deserve the harsh consequences he's facing today? Stick with us as we unravel this gripping case. Who's telling the truth and who's hiding something? Buckle up, because this court session is anything but ordinary.
All right. Okay. Mr. Heenan, and the record should reflect, just to briefly set it out, that while we were waiting for the courtroom change, at a bench conference with counsel, and given those discussions, Mr. Heenan was, prior to calling his case, sent over to Community Corrections to obtain a strand tether and also to take a full panel drug test. Went over.
As the judge learns of Heenan's failed drug test, we can already feel the tension building. His results come back positive for benzodiazepines, a clear red flag. But here's the twist. Heenan claims he had a legitimate prescription for the medication, despite the clear evidence suggesting otherwise. Can a prescription really explain away a failed test? Or is this just a desperate attempt to avoid responsibility?
And came back for positives on benzene. Sir, you take Zoloft?
I do, sir.
All right. How long have you had that prescription?
I just started last night. I've taken it before, but I was in jail for 6 days, so I had to stop. And then I started again. Oh, sorry. The new script is from 2 days ago. Sorry.
Hold on. You got a prescription for Zoloft 2 days ago?
Yes, Your Honor. I did. So rehab, I was in treatment, and they gave me a packet of Zoloft. So I've been using that, but I needed more. So I called my primary care doctor, and he prescribed, I think, 30.
Okay, you had that prescription filled.
Yes, Your Honor. And
so,
delivered.
Hold on. I just need to back up for a moment, because I'm trying to find out where you are right now and have a greater understanding. You were in rehab. When did you get out of rehab?
May 12th, I believe.
Okay. And when you got out of rehab, you had Zoloft.
Yes, they send you home with a 30-day supply.
Oh. And so at some point, then you ran out.
No, I still have some, but I needed to call my doctor anyway and tell him about this. And so I asked for a refill.
Okay. All right. Where were you in treatment?
West Palm Beach, in it's called Hanley. It's a very good treatment center.
To what?
A very, very good treatment center.
How long were you there?
I was originally 30 days, but I extended to 45 voluntarily.
Was there aftercare that was to follow that?
At this point, the judge is trying to make sense of Heenan's rehab history. He was supposed to enter an intensive outpatient program, IOP, but missed his appointment, and now the University of Michigan won't take him in for 6 months. So what happens now? This isn't just a matter of missing an appointment, this is a direct violation of Heenan's treatment plan. And let's not forget, missing an appointment in rehab can be the difference between recovery and relapse.
Doing anything? Because you were supposed to go and do intensive outpatient.
Yes.
Right. So at the point that you're supposed to go into intensive outpatient, you find out that you can't get in at U of M. What do?
So I have SoberLink, and my kids have a GAL. So I'm required to do multiple AA meetings a day.
Okay, but I get that. But in terms of an IOP, I mean, sorry. But just go ahead if you want to talk.
Oh, I've reached out to Brighton. They have an IOP program. It's on Zoom though. And I think
Get enrolled?
I can.
Well, no. Here's what I'm trying to figure out. All right. And so I'm asking you these questions for a reason. I'm not asking you to try to trick you into anything. I'm just trying to figure out, like I said, where you are.
Sure.
So you get out of treatment. Part of the aftercare on the treatment program that you're in is that you were supposed to get yourself into an IOP, right?
Your Honor, that was part of the condition. Also the sober link and one AA meeting a day.
Hold on. On whose condition?
Oh, the treatment center's recommendation.
Okay. You got me a little bit lost here. You go into the treatment center in Florida. You come out. They're basically, upon discharging you or releasing you from that, they're putting into place or give you a plan, an aftercare plan, right?
Yep.
Part of that aftercare plan was you were to get yourself into intensive outpatient treatment.
Yes, sir.
Right? Their recommendation was something here local at University of Michigan, right?
Yes, sir.
You were supposed to call them, but missed that somehow and or another. And then, as per their policy, you can't get in for a while.
6 months.
Right. After all that happens, what do you do instead of, I don't want to put it that way. What do you then do? Nothing? You didn't get yourself into any type of treatment program, is that right?
I found a therapist and no, I did not find an IOP.
Okay. Let me just ask you, and I won't hold you to it only because I know you've been drinking, but why didn't you do that? Honest answer.
Sometimes I feel like AA is more effective because I've done an IOP program before and it's on Zoom. And sometimes
Heenan starts to open up about his personal battles, his divorce, the loss of his children, and the emotional toll of it all. While the court and audience may feel sympathy, the question remains, is Heenan truly taking responsibility for his actions, or is he using his personal struggles as an excuse to avoid accountability? Can he recover without truly facing the consequences of his behavior?
So that's why you have other people kind of guide you as to what you really need to do. I also have a feeling that the program that you laid out for yourself, while you think effective, is actually just easier than doing the IOP, because an IOP can be difficult.
I desperately wanted that Michigan IOP 9 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And
Here's where it gets interesting. Heenan admits to drinking heavily the night before his court appearance, yet insists that he wants help. He says, "I know I can do it, but we can't ignore the fact that his actions suggest otherwise. How can someone who's made so many bad choices in such a short time claim they're ready to get their life back together?" The judge seems to be questioning this too.
And that's why you weren't going to go into the IOP.
it was the easier path.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Heenan, let me ask you this. You blew a 1-0. When did you stop drinking? When's the last time you had a drink?
So about 4, I woke up and my hands were shaking. So I drank some high noon. And then at
How much high noon did you have?
just enough till my hands stopped shaking.
Okay, what's that? Tell me what that means.
Like for me, it's like 4 to 6. And then at 7 this morning, when the liquor stores open, I had a DoorDash delivery of more high noon. And I drank again until my hands stopped shaking.
And how much did you have that time?
Your Honor, honestly, I just kept drinking until my hands stopped shaking. It was a 4-pack.
Okay. It was a 4-pack?
High noon comes in 4-pack.
Right. And so did you drink them all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And how long did that take you?
I chugged.
Okay. So that DoorDash delivery at 7, that was the last you had?
Yes, and my hands were shaking, so I've got a bunch of empties, and this is how desperate I was. I would pick up all the empties on my table and see if there were sips. And there was one that was like that full, and I chugged that as well. It wasn't.
What? Hold on.
Sorry.
What time did you do that?
It was between 7 and 8 because I knew I had this coming.
Okay.
I didn't want to come in under the influence.
So at 8 o'clock, from 8 o'clock till, I don't know what time we first called your case. Well, when you went over to community corrections. So that was around 3 o'clock, maybe somewhere around there. Between 8 and 3, did you have anything to drink?
No, Your Honor. It was 2:30 at community corrections.
Okay, at 2:30. But so from when you chugged that half to 2:30, you didn't have anything to drink?
No, Your Honor. Last night, I drank quite a bit, though. I lost my boys in a dispute, and I've been on a bender.
Okay. So, Mr. Heenan, I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm trying to figure out where you are. I'm trying to, when you say you've been on a bender, what were you drinking the night before and how much?
White Claw. I drank, probably 15.
Okay. And that would have been last night sometime. When you say that you stopped about 4, you said, or something like that?
I woke up at 4.
You woke up at 4. So yesterday you were drinking White Claw. You had about 15.
Yes, Your Honor.
For over just that day, that evening?
All day, yeah.
Okay. And at some point, you stopped drinking. Either you passed out or you just stopped.
Yeah, no, I felt
probably passed out.
Passed out, Your Honor.
Yeah. And then you woke up at 4.
Yep.
And then you needed something else.
Yeah, my hands were.
Right. I get why. But you needed something else, and that's when you got the other stuff. Or you already had that.
I already had it.
Okay.
I White Claw and high noon. I usually when I'm sober, I'm a fit person. I run marathons and stuff. So high noon and White Claw are the lowest calorie drinks.
Okay. And so then you switched to the high noon, and you did that, right?
Chugged them.
You're Heenan? Do you think you're in trouble? I mean, just not with the court. I'm not talking about with the court, but just with you and your sobriety.
I do. I have 16 years of sobriety. I So I know I can do it. I'm just having a hard time right now with this divorce and losing the kids. And just life is hard right now. I had to resign my job I loved. And it's just been rough.
Okay, so right now you're also not working.
I had to resign to go to treatment.
All right. So here's what I'm just going to let you know that you're going to be staying at the Washington County Jail, temporarily revoke your bond. Okay. And I'm not doing that necessarily as a punishment, but I have no way to release you and keep the community nor you safe. Okay.
Now we're seeing Heenan admit to an undeniable truth. He's struggling with his sobriety, and he doesn't have a solid support system. The judge has a sharp moment here, stating, "If it were just up to you, you wouldn't be in this position right now." The reality is, Heenan's fight against addiction isn't just about making decisions, it's about the ability to follow through. And right now, it's clear he's failed to do so.
When you come back, and I may ask you this tomorrow, but I want to know right now, what would you like to see happen right now for you?
I would like it to scram, tether, and start taking antabuse.
Okay, Mr. Heenan, is that what you really would like to see happen?
I need some accountability, yes.
Okay, but you also need some help.
Right, I agree. I do have a sponsor.
Have you called your sponsor? No, you haven't. Hold it. Answer my question. Have you called your sponsor?
No, I was too embarrassed.
Yeah. And the reason that you want the scram and the antabuse is because those are sort of easy things that I can do out of sight. Okay. You don't have to answer that.
Okay.
Okay, because I know what's going on. I've been doing this a minute. Okay. Between now and tomorrow morning, here's the thing that you're going to have to do. You're going to need to do the hard work. This isn't going to be easy. And you have to get in your head, because you've done it before, but you have to get in your head that there's not going to be an easy path. This is going to be a hard path for you. And I think you really do know that inside. You just don't want it to come out. People don't come to me whenever they're before me and ask me, give me a hard way to go, Judge. They don't do that, right? So I'm not expecting you to necessarily say that to me. I'm just telling you, this isn't going to be this easy path, this shortcut. And you got to wrap your head around that, right? You just have to understand that. So we're going to try to get something in place for you, because let me put it this way. If I let you out right now, you don't make it through the night without drinking. And you know that.
Not with a scram.
I could put that scream on you. You're going to drink.
I spent.
No, you're going to drink.
Okay.
That scram is not a magic bullet. It's not going to stop you. The only thing that scram is going to do, quite frankly, where you are, the only thing that scram's going to do is just tell on you. It's not going to stop you from drinking. Realize that you pounded down 15 White Claws, and then you did 4, then that wasn't enough, and you had to call somebody to bring you more alcohol.
Here, the judge drops a bombshell. The scram tether won't stop you from drinking. This is an important legal insight. While the scram tether might detect alcohol consumption, it won't prevent it. It's a critical reminder that legal measures are only as effective as the person wearing them. The judge's blunt honesty is a tough pill to swallow, but it's a wake-up call for Heenan and anyone in a similar situation.
Alone would stop me.
For a while.
I understand.
But you're going to go tonight. And then we're going to see you tomorrow morning. And Mr. Heenan, you'll never...
After all the drama, it's clear that the judge isn't about to let Heenan off easy. He makes a tough decision, no release, no scram tether for now. Instead, Heenan's bond is revoked, and he'll remain in custody until he gets the treatment he desperately needs. A hard call, but the judge's reasoning is clear. Heenan isn't just a person with an addiction. He's a person making dangerous decisions that could harm himself and others.
Our class conference will be adjourning. I'll just also call it a bond hearing. What is tomorrow, the 3rd? July 3rd, 2024 at 10 a.m. At this time, the bond is revoked. Just reset it tomorrow. Thank you. Court calls the case, People versus Peter Heenan.
Prosecuting attorney goes on behalf of people.
This moment is powerful. Despite the severity of the decision, the judge shows a real sense of concern for Heenan's well-being. It's not just about punishing him, it's about saving him. The judge recognizes that addiction doesn't define a person, but their choices can. This empathetic yet firm approach shows how the court balances justice with compassion.
Your Honor, in regards to, in regards to Bear River, yes, the update is Bear River can have Mr. Heenan admitted within 24 to 48 hours. However, they would require the referral from CMH. That was not able to take place yesterday because CMH said they required an order from Your Honor before
For CMH to evaluate him.
Yes. With that being said, my understanding is that in custody evaluations take place twice per week, on Wednesdays and on Fridays. So if they received an order today, they could potentially get to him on Friday. If not, then it'd be into next week.
Okay.
With that being said, my position would be that where we left off yesterday, Your Honor was entertaining the idea of releasing Mr. Heenan on a scram tether. If the court is inclined to do so at this time, upon release, Mr. Heenan would be able to call the CMH hotline and immediately be evaluated. It's a 20 to 30 minute phone interview process, and then Mr. Heenan could.
Heenan's plea for a second chance is met with a sharp reality check from the judge. You have to do the hard work, the judge tells him, acknowledging that no shortcuts will save Heenan now. At this point, Heenan's future hangs in the balance. Will he finally take the hard steps needed for recovery, or will this be another failure in his long history of broken promises?
Heenan gets into treatment as soon as possible. I just ask that we set him up for success as best we can. So if we are going to release him on a scram, I ask that counsel help him get situated with making that call to CMH so that he's not left on his own to do that without any assistance in case he needs it.
I would definitely be willing to do so, Your Honor. And one other thing I wanted to apprise the court, there are a few matters that Mr. Heenan would need to get in order in terms of personal affairs, primarily his rent, and actually more importantly, as a part of the settlement agreement in his divorce, he's ordered to pay the tuition for his son's private school. That payment is due on or before July 10th. Mr. Heenan does not have his credit card information with him. All of that is at home. So in order to be able to comply with that, that is another reason that we are asking that Mr. Heenan be allowed on scram tether.
Mr. Heenan, when you're out, who helps with just your support around you? I mean, what other people are around you?
I don't have much support, just AA.
And that you've been doing via Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, because here's part of my issue. Counsel's going to only be able to take you so far. So yeah, get you out, get the call made, but then you're there. And I understand that you've got the tether on. You would have the scram unit on, but all that may tell me is that you're going to that you drank. I'm just real concerned. I mean, I'm just going to be blunt about it. I don't know how you make it, even if for a day or two. I just don't know how you make it. That's my problem. And I think you know that too. Am I right?
Your Honor, I can do this. I can do it. I know I can.
And I want to believe you. I'm not sure I do.
I'm having a hard time here. I don't ever want to come back to jail. I'm not a bad person.
Hey, Shayden, so that you understand, I don't think that you're a bad person either. I just don't. I'm more worried about you and what you do. That talk we had yesterday, I was kind of making that clear to you. That I'll be honest with you, I don't want you dying. That's what because eventually you're going to run out of opportunity and chances. And what weighs heavily on me, given what we went through that you past few days, is I could let you out on a scram tether and I never get you back.
For what it's worth, Your Honor, I did have a very frank and blunt conversation with Mr. Heenan and informed him that if the scram tether did indicate that there was consumption of alcohol, Mr. Heenan would very likely remain in custody for the pendency of his case.
Here's what I'm going to do. And you're not going to like it, Mr. Heenan, but I'm making the call. You're not going anywhere. I'll sign the order. He'll get assessed on Friday. And we're going to get you out to Bear River and start this process.
Now, the court is setting up Heenan's next steps. It's not just about getting into treatment, it's about ensuring that everything aligns. A drug assessment on Friday, a scram tether to monitor his actions, and the looming fear of jail time if he relapses. But there's still a glimmer of hope. Will Heenan take this opportunity to turn his life around, or will his failures continue to define him?
Fails in comparison to where this could be. Mr. Heenan, how'd you get here yesterday?
I drove. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm letting you know that that factors into my decision because, Mr. Heenan, by the time we got to you and you didn't drink while you were here, you were a 0.10. By the time we got you over to community corrections and you had already been here a while. It's that behavior that, and again, I'm not saying that you're a bad person, but your inability to make a proper judgment on that leads me to the conclusion that I have to keep you right where you are, get an order, get CMH to talk to you, and get you into treatment. So that's what I'm going to do. And counsel, somebody will need to prepare an order for the court signature to do that, because I don't. And I will sign it, and we'll get it there. So at this point, I'm just going to continue your bond.
To wrap things up, the case of Peter Heenan is a tough one. He's clearly facing a crossroads. Will he finally get the help he needs, or will his addiction continue to control his life? The court's decision to keep him in custody for now seems like the only choice, but it's not the end of the road. For Heenan, it's a chance to get serious about his treatment. And for all of us watching, it's a reminder that the road to recovery is never easy. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.